Those grooves are saving your life. Look down at your car's tires for a moment. Thick rubber, deep lines carved across the surface, channels, blocks, zigzags, almost like fingerprints pressed into black skin. Now imagine those patterns suddenly disappearing. Smooth rubber, no grooves, no texture. You're driving on a dry road. Everything feels fine until it rains. The surface turns slick. Your steering feels light, and suddenly the car doesn't respond the way it should. Why? Why does something as simple as a pattern carved into rubber make the difference between control and chaos? Why can't tires just be smooth like racing slicks? And what exactly are those lines doing beneath you at 100 kilometers per hour? Because those patterns aren't decoration. They are physics in motion. Welcome back to Simple Things Why and How, where we take the everyday objects you rarely think about and reveal the invisible science holding your world together. Tires are so ordinary that they almost disappear from your awareness. You trust them without question. 4 circles of rubber carrying thousands of kilograms of metal and human life down highways, across gravel, through rain and heat. But those patterns, those grooves, are doing far more than you might imagine. To understand why they exist, we need to talk about something simple and dangerous: water. When a tire rolls over dry asphalt, it presses firmly against the rough surface. The tiny bumps and imperfections in the road create friction, and friction creates grip. Grip is control. But introduce water into that equation, and everything changes. Water forms a thin layer between the tire and the road. If that layer becomes thick enough, the tire can no longer push the water out of the way fast enough. Instead of gripping the asphalt, the tire begins to ride on top of the water. This is called hydroplaning. And when it happens, your steering wheel can turn. But the car won't respond. It feels like floating, not the peaceful kind, the terrifying kind. So the real question becomes, how do you prevent a tire from surfing on water? Those grooves carved into your tires are not random. They are carefully engineered channels designed to move water. As your tire rolls forward, the grooves collect water from the center of the contact patch, the small area actually touching the road, and push it outward through the sides. Think of them as drainage systems for motion. Without those channels, water would build up beneath the tire. With them, the tire slices through rain, pushing liquid aside so rubber can maintain contact with asphalt. The deeper and more complex the pattern, the more efficiently it can move water. But water isn't the only factor. Look closely at a tire, and you'll see not just grooves but blocks. Small segments of rubber separated by thin cuts called sipes. When the tire rolls, those blocks flex slightly. That flexing allows the tire to conform to small irregularities in the road surface, increasing grip. On snow or mud, those patterns bite into the surface, creating traction where smooth rubber would simply spin. The design changes depending on purpose. Off-road tires have aggressive, chunky patterns for digging into dirt. Winter tires have intricate sipes for gripping ice and snow. High-performance tires for dry racing conditions sometimes have fewer grooves because, on dry pavement, maximum rubber contact creates maximum grip. In fact, racing slicks, completely smooth tires, are incredibly effective, but only when the road is perfectly dry. The moment rain appears, those smooth tires become almost useless. Which is why everyday road tires must be prepared for unpredictability. There's another layer to this design. Patterns don't just affect grip. They influence noise, fuel efficiency, and wear. As tires roll, air moves through the grooves. Certain patterns reduce vibration and road noise, making your ride smoother and quieter. Engineers must balance water displacement, traction, durability, and comfort, all in a single rotating piece of rubber. It's a delicate compromise. Too many grooves, and you reduce the amount of rubber touching the road, which can weaken grip on dry surfaces. Too few grooves, and water becomes dangerous. Every line you see has been shaped by years of testing, mathematics, and real-world danger. Over time, those grooves become shallower. As they wear down, their ability to channel water decreases. The tire may still look functional, but in heavy rain, the risk of hydroplaning rises dramatically. That's why tire tread depth matters. It's not about appearance. It's about survival. The pattern isn't just a design choice, it's a performance feature that gradually fades, quietly reducing safety unless replaced. And most drivers don't think about it until it's too late. So why do tires have patterns? Because the road is unpredictable. Because water, snow, mud, and dust don't care how confident you feel behind the wheel. Those grooves represent preparation, adaptation, respect for physics. They are a reminder that control is not about power, it's about contact. Your entire vehicle depends on 4 small patches of rubber, no larger than the palms of your hands. That's it. 4 contact points separating motion from disaster. And carved into those patches are the silent guardians of your stability. Patterns that look simple, but hold your life in balance. The next time you walk toward your car, pause for a second and look down at your tires. Those lines are not decoration. They are design meeting danger, quietly protecting you every time it rains. If this changed the way you see something as ordinary as a tire, give this video a like so more curious minds can discover the hidden engineering beneath everyday objects. Share it with someone who loves cars, or someone who probably needs to check their tread depth. And subscribe to Simple Things Why and How, because the simplest designs often carry the greatest responsibility. Until next time, stay curious and stay grounded.